up, guys? So, got a little something going on right now. Going to the courthouse. I have my packet to fill out to get the interest reduced on my LFOs. Oh, like $5,000 in interest. I'm trying to get it reduced. Yeah, I don't really know, like, if it will. I tried paying a lawyer to do this paperwork. But, yeah. I called him and I said, I was like, yeah, I told him what I'm trying to do. I was like, I'm trying to get the interest reduced. And this is before I paid my LFOs, or the principal. And he says, he goes on this tangent about trying to get all of it waived and whatnot. And he said it would cost thousands of dollars and yada, yada, yada. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, it's not what I asked. I was like, I just want to get the packet filled out so I can submit that. Get the interest waived. I'll pay the principal. But he seemed to, like, I don't know, he only heard what he wanted to hear. So instead, I'm doing it myself. I was like, yeah, I don't know. So I don't know, like, I followed it, but I still think I messed up what I did. I got 3 packets and I filled each one of them out with pen. But I think I'm supposed to just fill one out and then copy it 2 times and then give it to, like, everyone. I think that makes more sense because, yeah, I think I did it wrong. Pretty confident I did it wrong. Well, the good news is I can just, like, I went too far, not too little. So I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully, yeah, but I set the date for it to be heard. It's 5 years. It'll be 5 years on the date from when it was implemented. Yeah, because I got out December 30th, and then I was given 60 days to start paying. And he wanted it. The judge ordered in my sentencing hearing. He wanted all of it paid in 5 years. So I could have, like, pushed it out a little bit. But I was like, kind of symbolic. You know, if I got it on this day, it's a week from today. So I was like, I just wrote it in. So I'm running down to the courthouse right now to get it in. Another thing I gotta do, so you gotta fill all this paperwork, right? The first piece is like, what is it? Oh, it's just your name, like what you're asking the court to do. So that's, you know, I'm asking them to waive the interest or reduce it. I think you can't have it waived 100%. Like, all the judge can do is reduce it. So I'm gonna have to pay something. Then the second thing is, like, you're asking why, you know, like, why they would do it. And the third thing, it's like, oh, setting up the date, when and where. And then the fourth, I forget what it was. Oh, I think it's like if they have to reach out or something, contact me, something like that. But then anyway, so I gotta give this packet to, excuse me. I gotta give this packet, like I said, copy a couple times. And then one of the packets I have to give to the prosecutor, but I can't do it. Like, I have to have someone else do it. So Lena's gonna meet me at the courthouse. We start at 1. So I'll give him the packet, or she will. They'll fill out the extra paperwork, and then you have to take that paperwork back over to the clerk's office have it all here. But that's to my understanding what I have to do. I don't know. Like, they're kind of like sticklers, you know what I mean? Like, I probably messed something up, whatever, I'm pushing forward with it anyway. But, like, I'm just waiting for them to be like, wow, you can't do that, da 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 da. I have to do it all. I mean, worst case scenario, I have to do it all over again. Whatever. At least I'll, restart from experience. So once I get the interest reduced, whatever that looks like, then pay that, right? So then, like, I don't owe anybody money. I don't owe in the court system, right? It's done. But then I start chipping away and get my record vacated. So, yay! Yeah, because if I don't do anything about the interest, everything will just stay there. Like, because after 7 to 10, like, so I have 2 felonies. I have a Class B and a Class C. Class C falls off after 7 years. The Class B falls off after 10 years. So the Class C should fall off, I think it's next year, this year. It'll fall off this year if it's from the date of the crime. It'll be next September if it's from the date of sentencing. We'll see. And then, crap, what else? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, but like, none of it falls off if you don't pay your fines or your LFOs and all that good stuff. So, a little incentive to get it done. And then, so to like, I don't know, to like get a lawyer to like try and get it vacated. I don't know if it would be worth it. Maybe. Because, I don't know, it's hard to say. Because it would just fall off in 3 years anyway. It's like like a speeding ticket at that point. It'd be a lot of money to speed up the process. I don't know. I'll just have to like feel what's appropriate. I don't know. I'll look into it and see. But at least this is the next step right here. I mean, I remember thinking like just paying off that principal. Like, I don't know when I'll get that done. I always knew, like, I had it in my mind. I don't know if I said in another video or not, but like, I remember I went there to the clerk's office for some reason, and I saw some dude out there with cash, and I assume he's paying out some LFOs. So I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to come in here and just, there you go. Well, actually, I did a little more like, dump. Hit the table. Anyway, but yeah, let's not, what was that? I think I pulled out $8 grand because I knew I owed like 78, 7,900 some shit. It was 78 something. So I knew I had 8 grand. I go in there and they're like, oh, you owe 78, yada yada yada. So I pull it out, put the cash on the table. I was gonna start counting it. And I'm like, fuck that. I ain't counting that shit. So I just took 100 off of it and gave it to him. There you go, you count it. So that's what I got pictures of in that one video. He's sitting there counting it. He counted it twice. No, he did. Because like at first he's like, well, there's a couple hundred missing. I'm like, bullshit. But the bills were sticking together. I was like, no, you can count it again. It's there. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm just ready for that next stage in life. Like, this criminal stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, I just grew up with people like being involved in the court system, and I'm like, it made it seem like it was so. I don't want to say fun, but like, like they were involved with something. And it sounds so stupid in hindsight saying it now. But I was like, wow, that sounds kind of fun. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. But what it was is these guys were trying to church up their problems, you know, obviously. But the whole time I've been in it, like, I've always, you know, been shameful of it, never been proud of it, it's just been dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I've never benefited off of it. Well, I shouldn't, right? Like, I shouldn't benefit off of it. But, I don't know. So, but, yeah, like, trying to make it right. I don't know. That's all I can do. From like, serving, you know, like, when I'd serve and, you know, say I mess up someone's food order, I'd be like, well, what can I do to make it right? And, you know, I'd get varied responses. But, you know, it's like, but at that point, if, like, people are like, no, don't worry about it, all right, cool. Then I can carry that with me and I don't have to, like, worry about it again. But if someone's like, hey, I want this, and then I do jump through those hoops, all right, I'll do that. And then it's like, again, it's like, well, now I'm at peace and everything's fine. But then sometimes, very rarely, like, people will be unreasonable. And then at which point, I'm like, well, you're not a rational person anyway, so that kind of I am absolving myself from having to satisfy you or, you know, rectify this problem. So, yeah, I know I already stated in my other video, but, like, that was the big thing with this. Like, I didn't feel fair, and I'll stand by that forever. But I don't know. That's why, like, I'm doing this packet, because it's like, because of what I say in the other video. So, I don't know what will come of it. No idea. All I know is, like, I just want it dealt with so I can just move on. Like, I was a kid then. Very childish. And, I couldn't, I was someone somewhere else, you know? So, I don't know, we'll see what happens. On another note, I was just thinking, like, if I would get copies of this, I can just go, because I remember, I think I saw people going in there and making copies of their files. It's probably what it was. Probably what they're doing. It's like getting these packets, maybe not for this exact reason, but you know, they get the packet and they gotta file it all these places, all in the same way. But yeah, what happened here? Something happened. I don't know. I'm kind of like excited but nervous. Excited but nervous. I just remember, like, it was 2015, so yeah, 6 years ago. They just treat me like a piece of shit, man. Rightfully so. I don't know, like, from being, like, homeless to, like on numerous levels, it's just like people treat me like shit for, like, what I had sunk into. And it was like the worst feeling in the world. Like, people wouldn't touch me, people wouldn't shake my hand, people, like, completely disregard me, condescending, all this. Even more so than it is now, because I mean, people do that now, but, like, dude, it was bad. At least now, like, I can dress up, you know what I mean, and, like, people pay respect and whatnot. So it's like, I don't know, I kind of like doing that now, just thinking from where I was to where I am now. Just how different it is. Just like, and then it makes me think about, like, why people do that. And I read somewhere, I don't remember where, but people judge you. The number one thing people judge you off of is how you're dressed. And I believe that 100%. I don't look the greatest right now when I'm doing this, but I don't know. I didn't know I had to go today. Like I said, I kind of, like, pushed it forward. I didn't really have time to plan what I was doing. So it's stapled together. That's another thing. I don't think any of it was stapled together. Like, I didn't want to like mess that up. Like, it just, I don't know. Like one thing that prepared me for this moment, I guess, was school. Like, I took that college course in writing, English or whatever. And like, she was so particular on how she wanted everything. She's like, that's just that. So I'm like, I remember at first I kept messing up. I was messed up. Like, I didn't give it the attention and respect it deserved. But then by the end of it, I passed. I passed with a B minus, something like that. But it went up from like a D, like I was failing. But by the time I turned in that final paper, it bumped me up like 2 grades or something like that. Because like I improved so much. Like, I was willing to learn. I was willing to take the criticism. If it's constructive. If you got a poor delivery when it comes to your criticism, save it. I don't want to hear it. Or if you're not like a respectable person, you can save it too. Like, I'm not saying I won't take, advice from people, but like, some people you're like, you're saying about 5%, man. Like, you can be saying some dope, but like, if you're not saying that, if you're not coming correct, like, whatever. But like, if you're a person of stature, I think that's the right word, then I'm more likely to like internalize what you're saying. But it also has to resonate. You can't just be whomever, say whatever, and it resonate. Which a lot of people, that works for them, but not me. $5,000. I still have $5,000. That's my motorcycle. That's so much money. I mean, it's not the most money, but it's significant. Just to get that paid off. Oof. That's hard. But here we are. Here I am, showing up. Okay, let's do it. Let's get it done. I don't know. What do I plan on doing with it? I don't like, one thing I've definitely noticed, it's affected the jobs I can get. All I can get at a restaurant and construction. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's some ones out there, whatever, but if you're not plugged in, if you're not in the know, then that's pretty much where you're limited. Unless you know someone or something. And the second thing is housing. That's been a huge hiccup. So thankfully, we are where we are, and it can be being dealt with. But man, I tell you. I can see where people just say, fuck it. They're like, I don't care. They'd rather just continue on that path of doing bad shit. I totally get it. Like, it just feels so overwhelming. Like, you can't comfort you. I totally get it. But then on the other hand, it's like, how do you not try to do better? Like, for me, that was always burning inside of me. Like, this needing, this wanting to do better. Expecting more of myself. So, as I did, like, many times I did give up. I was just like, fuck it. Multiple times. But I could never rest. I could never find peace. Because I'd always go back to it and be like, well, I got that thing I need to take care of. Damn. And instead of being like overwhelmed by it, and like I can't do it, switch my thinking to how can I do it? And it's worked. I mean, here we are. But then like another thing that like kind of weighs me down is like there really is no end game. It's that. What am I trying to get out of this at the end? I think that's it. Like I know I say I want to be able to like get a house, job, whatever, or all that stuff. But like at the end of it, like I want to find peace. And I know that might sound corny or something, but it's true. Like that's the real prize or light end of the tunnel or whatever you want to call it. Look at this fucking... Damn, champ. It's a parking spot for you, dude. Anyway. There's the jail. Yeah, I see it. You see it? Let me see. Yeah. Over there. Yeah. There's a guy here. Man, just being in there. I've been in the hole. I only spent a day in there. I spent I put some notes. I got some of this on my channel, like some of the notes. I read that off while I was sitting up there. I was all alone. I think that's where like it dawned on me that I was alone, that I had to figure this out. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm blessed with everyone that's helped me, but like none of it would have been possible if I didn't like believe in myself. Like it was absolutely imperative that I want it for myself. Kind of like I was just saying, like on the way in, like trying to find that peace. Like people, you can't instill that in someone. You can't, invoke that. Like it has to be internal. And I remember, so I was sitting up there, and they took my book, like. I had John Grisham's The Firm, and I just started it, and I got thrown in the hole, but I had it, and they're like, well, they take everything in your store and everything, but I was like, well, not too worried about it, because I was like, well, I got a good book. They took that too, so all I have is pen and paper. That was it. I mean, nuts, like crazy. 24 hours I was stuck in there. I know it doesn't seem like much, but like it really is. And I'm not as like, I'm strong in a lot of ways, I'm not sitting here trying to pat myself in the back, but you don't know how strong you are until you have to be. And like in a lot of ways, I'm really proud of myself. Like I do really good. But then in some ways, I'll just tell you, I was like, I'm just not cut out for that, man. Like that ain't me. And I ain't fronting on anybody like trying to say that I am. But I know I sat up there and I was like, I thought about all the people that like never came and saw me or whatever. And it made me, because that's why I got into drugs. Like, I know I probably said this like 1,000 times, but I can't say it enough. I feel like, but like I remember just sitting in this apartment up in Seattle. I was just sitting there, I was just all alone. Like I didn't have any close family. I purposely stopped calling people and whatnot just to see if they would like reach out to me and be like, hey Nick, what's up? No. And I understand like a lot of people see me as like, there's like 1 degree separation. I don't really have that closeness with anybody. And so I guess I kind of understand why it never happened. Well, now I can. But like back then, like everyone kind of just like kept me at arm's length. Even before I got into drugs. Like there's some people like they try to say why they don't talk to me or distance themselves or whatever is because I'm drugs. But I gotta call bullshit on that. Like they were like that even before. Like they'd only ever acknowledge me if I just happened to show up on their doorstep, or I just happened to like call them or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, so again, circling back, like I sat in the hole when I said that, I was like, man, it really is, it's like I was just in there by myself. It was just me. Like, I had nobody was there to like console me or talk to me or help me through it, or, you know, put money in my books. I mean, well, shout out, you know, my grandma, my Aunt Janet did at that time. But now it's, I don't know. Well, now it's a little different. Like, I mean, it's like you have to become someone before anyone really cares. You know what I mean? Like, people just want to associate with people that are doing well for themselves. They don't. I guess I was just a little bummed that no one ever saw that I was like valuable enough to like pull me from the dirt. You know. And you know, after some reflection and whatnot, like I realize now that a lot of people are barely supporting themselves. So like, it's hard, man. So while I understand that, I try to be objective and look at both ends of it. But there's just a part of me that, like, dude, I was left up there, man. Like, all I wanted was like a phone call, or, you know, like a letter or a visit or something. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even have to be monetary, just a little bit of your time. I'll be damned if like nobody has a little bit of time, man. For how valuable it is, especially for a relationship, you know, like, but it just never came. And so now it's like, you know, I'm distant with people, but it's like, it kind of, they're the one who set the precedent for, or the tone of our relationship. So yeah, like I kind of just keep to myself, whatever, or I got that, you know, it's like, all I can think of is like, the best analogy in my head is, oh, come on, no. But like, all I can think, oh, this poor lady, I ain't done nothing for you. All I can think of is like that analogy of like, you know, those hotels, and they got the double doors, right? And it's like, all I can think of is like, when I was in need, I'd have my door open, I'd look, and that door was always closed to the other room. So now I just close my door. All right, so if that's what it is, that's what it is. And then I hear, you know, I hear birds chirping, and they say, oh, Nick doesn't open his door, like he doesn't want to be close. Like, why? Because I'm doing good now? Because like I'm healthy, and now I'm like, because like I sat up there, I sat right up there. I'll show you again. I sat right up there, and I didn't hear a peep when I needed the most, and they knew. Yeah. And I don't need them to get all like offended or anything off this. I'm just speaking my truth. That's another thing. Like, you can't stand like even me just saying this. Like, one day they hear this, they'd be like, "Oh well, and this and that." It's like, dude, like, you don't understand. Like, it's not about you. You know, like, what a person has to go through when they're up there, man. Like, that's. I don't understand, like, if it was warranted, you know what I mean? Like, if I had hurt somebody, or I really done something devious or evil or whatever, but never did. Like, so much dirt had been thrown on my name, it almost seems just for the fuck of it. Or even at times, like, people, like, can't comprehend what they did wrong, so then they shove it all on me. I really just think it boils down to human nature. Which then all the more reason to just to, like, you know, stick to myself. Because at the end of the day, like, I think this whole relationship thing, it's like, I don't think I had anything to offer up there. But like, now I have things to offer, and it's like, oh, hey, what's up? And it's like, yeah. You know? So I'm just gonna, I'm a minimalist, man. Like, I'm cool. Like, unless, like, yeah, someone else has something like I want, but like, there was a time when I tried to just have relationships just to have relationships, because we were blood, or we were, whatever, you know what I mean? But now I understand. I feel like I understand like how the world truly works now. And I was a fool to think it worked one way, and I lived in a fairy tale in my head, and that shattered up there. Like it dawned on me, it clicked, and I went, oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. But like now I'm looking around, it's like, so they didn't have anything, I didn't have anything to offer when I was up there. Well, maybe now they don't have anything to offer me. Or if they do, like, it's not worth the connection in maintaining it. Is that cold to say? Probably. They're gonna ruffle some feathers. That's the truth. Like, it's so the truth. Like, I'll just say it because I've already put him on blast. I don't care. Like, you got my older brother. Like, when I put out the last video with the court stuff when I was out here at the courthouse last, like, the way he would drag my name through the mud and like just take from me and all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, like, it's weird. You know what I mean? It's so weird that like you treat someone like that. It's so toxic and just so like you're just taking so much from me. And we're not even talking about money. Like my energy, my soul, my spirit, whatever, like everything I have to offer as a human being. Just take. And it's like, I think, I don't know, and maybe because of my understanding that I need to just like separate from that, like now I apply that to all my relationships. Like I did that with like 2 or 3, these type of people. But then, as I sat up there and it clicked, like, oh wow, like that's how people saw me. Maybe. They saw me as like, I just take and like, what I don't offer enough in return. So they had to. When I thought just being blood would be enough. It's not. It's not. So, yeah, I remember many times, like, I'd be like, yeah, I don't talk to so. They'd be like, oh, but that's your. So? Like, that's supposed to, like, carry some weight? Like, you have any idea how, like, manipulative that could be? Like, it's like, let's flip the script. Like, imagine, which I've never stolen from my family, alright? It's never occurred, never happened. I stole from an insurance company on this. Literally, who's in the paperwork? That's who I paid back, an insurance company. Even the pharmacy was insured, and they're the ones, they got covered. They're out no money. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, about like something about the giving. So it's like if someone knows, like if I know I can just keep taking from someone, why would they stop? Oh, because they'd be like, well, that unconditional love, that will bury you, man. They will watch you fall flat on your face and walk all over you. Like, you gotta set limits. So I set these limits, and now other people are all sour about them. What, man? That was doing it right. You just can't satisfy people. You just can't do it. So, I don't know. It just seems like, it's nasty. It's real nasty. I gotta get these papers stapled. These lazy guys up here at the clerk's office, they're open from 9 to 11 and then from 1 to 3. It's 4 hours. That's it. Easy job. Easy. They got it so easy. I bet you they sit there and just go, oh, it's horrible, it's so hard. Man, what else? What else am I trying to talk about this legal crap? I've learned a lot. So, okay, so after this, after I get all that vacated, the next, so what I do, probably won't wait for is the 3 years, 4 years, how much more longer? Because when my main thing is I'm trying to get my arrest record vacated, and I can't do that until I get this vacated. So that'd be a whole nother thing. Whole nother conversation. I would like to know if I can get contact a lawyer and be like, how is it not against our constitutional right, the Sixth Amendment, your right to due process, to be to have arrest records on your record? Arrest records, it's so I was just seeing in the news, I on Facebook, and I go in the comment section and people say, or the title will say, oh, charges dropped because whatever reason, X, Y, and Z reason. And I comment, well, too late, doesn't matter, it's on his record now. It's like, after finding new evidence, charges have been dropped. Doesn't matter, it's on his record. The minute you get arrested, it's over. And what does it take to get, it doesn't take much to get arrested. You can just refuse to talk to cops. I don't want to talk to you. I want a lawyer. Oh, well, we're taking you because this person said you did it. Do people realize just how easy it is to manipulate that? You can give someone a criminal record. I could do. I could just walk and be like, yeah, this guy tried to stab me. And if they try to no, I didn't, but if the cop wants to believe that it's more likely it happened than didn't, well, now you have a record. It's so silly. It's so silly. But it doesn't happen to the majority, so it kind of just falls wayside. Same thing with the education system. Oh, most people benefit from it. We understand 30% or whatever the number is, they fall through the cracks. What the fuck's that? I do have this dude legit has a fucking crowbar. Just walking around. I ain't got no weapon. See, look, back in everything. All I got is this fucking stapler. My gun rights. I'm dead ass. You can see, but you can see in his hand. Is it too dark? He's got a cat's claw. Anyone done flooring or upholstery? What's he doing? I'm sorry, dude. You just never know. You just walk into a car, clack, clack, clack. What do you do about people like that? Oh, see, this person's just walking. Seen it talking to himself, raving. What the fuck? Dead air! I can't help it. I'm just waiting to see if something's gonna happen. They can at any time. I think everyone's just pushed to the edge, man. I think so. Like I said, I sat out there. I mentioned that like a few times, 4, 5, 7, 10 times since I've sat here. But I think the bigger picture is like everyone just has to look out for themselves. I thought he was in the car with it. Sorry, I still see this guy. Like everyone just has to look out for number one. So with everything I said about being up there, like I think the biggest thing takeaway is I can't take it so personal. You know what I mean? Like, and it just grows by the day on just how that is. Like I said, oh, just because I'm family, it wasn't enough. Well, tough luck, son. You know what I mean? Like, and figure it out. Well, that's what I finally did. And I figured it out. At least I think I did. Could be wrong. Could be getting some aspects wrong. But I also know I have some aspects right. Unhinged. Should I give him some socks? I legit have socks. I was gonna go down to Smith Avenue and hand out socks. Because a family member of mine, they said they recognize I've been doing good and whatnot. Like, back in December, we were hard up, and they gave me some money. They gifted me some money. So, to pay it forward, you know, because like I said, we came into a little bit of money, so like, we went out and bought some salt, like, and we're gonna go distribute them. Well, it's kind of hard when a dude's swinging a cat, you know, a cat's claw at you, you know. Like, damn, dude, never mind. I'll keep them. So it's like, I'm very selective about when I do it. And I'm averaging about 40%. Like, I just carry him with me. And if I see someone just chilling, like, you know, like that guy, forget it. But like, other people, like they're just sitting there, you know, a little sign or something, that's fine. Here's some socks. Yeah, this guy's unhinged. Like, where are you? You know what I mean? Where are you? I'll turn the camera if it turns into something. That's one thing I am not afraid to document. I'm all about that footage. But right now it's not that entertaining. He's just yelling at rocks. It's not funny. It's a little funny. It's also sad. Like, where do you go? Like, who could help that? Oh, this guy's walking by. And then he just turns off. He's talking to me. He's gonna keep walking. Oh, don't engage with him, dude. Can you see? How dark it is. Maybe he's PD. I don't think so, though. This lady. Oh, that's another thing. So let me think. Well, everyone can freaking deserve some socks. Could use some socks, is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to misjudge and be like, hey, do you need some socks? And someone's not homeless or something. They're just like, excuse me? Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's begging for something. I don't know where his cast claw went. I don't know if he still got it on him or. It's crazy. He's probably scared, so he's probably like just trying to talk to him, trying to. That cat's claw is gone. Oh, there's someone else. He just found this glove on the ground. Oh, there he is. Where's that cat's claw guy? He just picked it up. Talking to him. I don't understand why 5% tint is illegal. Like, that's probably the only reason he didn't come into my car. Because it's dark as fuck in here. You can't see me. So, I can just sit here in peace. And plus, he can't come in here and look. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, look. A fucking cigarette butt smash. Like, I'll take the ticket. Still cheaper than everything. Still cheap. Still saving money. You know what I won't do is get involved. I see someone going through something. I did in October. Those who know, know. My thumb's still messed up. I don't know how to fight, right? Like, I've only been in like a handful of fights. Never really considered myself to like the need to know how. So yeah, I don't know, like what it was actually. So it actually happened to both my thumbs. I don't know. I think I was like hitting them incorrectly, like my thumb caught. Well, anyway, my left thumb hurt way worse than my right, and it healed way slower. I mean, I can use it now, but like I go to some angles and stuff, it's like, oh, it hurts. But anyway, like I was at work and I grabbed it. I thought I can just like pop it. Big mistake. Yeah, big mistake. Yeah, it hurt. And yeah, it was October 2nd, and it's February 23rd. So it's been 4.5 months. It shit still hurts. He's yelling at people. He's sitting down now. Dude just muddling on by. I don't know. What else is there to say? Yeah, maybe that's the answer. Maybe like I was just taking things too personal. You know, people won't come visit me and stuff. You know, maybe they just, everyone's got their own situations. Everyone's got their own whatever. I think that's the best light I can cast on it. But like, I had to go through a lot of paths and a lot of dark tunnels to come to that, you know, to come to that conclusion. This guy. Anyway, yeah, I don't ever plan on going back to jail. part of me kind of wants to sometimes. Like, I think I'm like romanticizing it, because I think like I read is like the human brain like purposely blocks out like the worst aspects of things and like tries to remember only the good things. Yeah. It's a fucking day though, too. I'm not trying to go for a long time. City cow, city cheese, city cow, city cheese. I still got 45 minutes before they open. Again though, but like, how would someone like treat him? You know what I mean? Like he's sitting there like beating on his chest, just sitting down, yelling at cars as they drive by. Like, what do you do? Like, what medicine you give him? What? How do you accommodate that? I think that's why he is right there, because nobody knows. Like, some people try, bless their heart, but I think a lot of people don't know. I don't want to roll down my window. No, no, you know. Where are you going, boss? This dude just walked right here. Well, he was up here at the courthouse, the courtyard. He came right down here. Oh. Like, that's so many people. Maybe go up to the group. Yeah, see, but there's a difference between, I'd even say, the group and him. You know? Like, just, you gotta think of even the mentality to be able to associate with the group. You have to be, like, non-violent, you know, pretty stable. You gotta have some sort of reputation. You know, I'm not hitting all the points, but I know. But, like, just be walking around by yourself like that, that might be considered even more dangerous. People, like, feel more comfortable with, like, people in a group because you got one guy there, but then the rest of those guys co-sign what that guy's, you know, what that guy's about, essentially. So, I think just on a human nature level, I think people just recognize that, you know, subconsciously. It's not foolproof. I'm not saying, like, that is how it is 100% of the time. But, like, if one dude started acting all nuts and whatnot, I think the rest of them would more likely break off. Because when you see, like, other than, like, riots, right? Like, where, like, say, like, George Floyd or whatever. But, like, the only time you see, like, one person does something stupid and everyone else co-signs it, goes along with it, is when they're kids. You know? I'm talking, like, teenagers below. You know? Like, because you don't understand, like, the ramifications of staying in that group. or if something does go sideways. Or that cop drives by. See, he don't know what to do either. Well, he ain't doing shit. Like, he probably seen him 1,000 times. Oh, this dude just linked up with. Alright, so now he's walking with him. Okay. It's fucking active out here. Like, Ever never used to look like this. I know with him. Now he's semi-normal. Let me see. I'm just here on some official business. Anyway, we're about an hour in. Yeah, I think this is where I'll end it. I don't really got much else, just a lot of dead air. Kind of listen to some music, kind of just vibe out. At least try to as much as I can before I go in here and handle this business. So, yeah, thanks for listening.